Some laughed at me straight up in my face, and there was somebody that is very close to me who laughed, like straight up just laughed, and it really hurt me. I ain't gotta live in Los Angeles to be a goddamn YouTuber. Hello, if you've never seen me before, hi, my name is Yuki, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, yeah. For today's video, I just thought I would do a short clip talking about a few things I wish I had known, or things that I wish I was more aware of before I started YouTube. This video is kind of spontaneous. By the way, if you want to know how I got this look, just click the little eye up there after you've watched this video. I've been getting questions from people asking me, you know, do you have any advice for new YouTubers or anything like that? And I thought I would just kind of do the video in this form. Number one, this is something I knew, but not something a lot of other people know. Nobody owes you anything. And I know that really sucks to hear that, but nobody owes you anything, simply because you decrease the chances of your heart being broken that way. Once you just go into it, you know, feeling like, okay, I'm just doing it for myself. It's just going to be fun. Not worried about anybody else or trying to impress anybody else. It would be your journey will be so much easier. Another thing, consistency is key, but quality is king. That's just something I coined in my head a little bit earlier. Consistency on this platform or on any platform is important, but quality, especially if you're in the beauty space, since it is so incredibly saturated, quality is important, being that I personally feel that people are drawn to certain things, things that catch our eye, for example. So good visuals, good quality sound, those things are important. I'm not saying you have to have the most expensive camera, but know how to work your camera. But yes, do as much as possible to strive for good quality. Numbers do not mean everything. Now, when I first started YouTube, I felt like, okay, once I get to 100,000 subscribers, maybe more brands will know me and I'll be on more PR lists, or maybe this. I had certain expectations of things that would happen once I hit a certain milestone. I was so wrong. Numbers do help. However, they are not the end all be all. Literally, I can tell you right now, at over 400,000 subscribers, there are people who have half the amount of subscribers I currently have, who make 2 or 3 times more than I do on this platform. No, I am not lying. Yes, it is true. People sometimes feel like your subscriber count is what makes you more appealing or more successful, when that's not the truth. Especially this whole algorithm thing, it has messed a lot of people up and really affected people's views. It sucks. It really sucks. That's all I'm going to say about that, because I don't want to dwell too much on that aspect. Don't get too hung up on numbers. There are different factors that play a role into success on this platform. Yes, numbers help, but I feel like the people you know also makes a huge difference. When you have certain numbers and you're performing to a certain standard, brands have no choice but to pay attention to you. However, do not fully rely on your numbers being the meter stick or yardstick that you use to gauge how successful you are. AdSense is inconsistent. Brand deals and partnerships and sponsorships can be inconsistent. You're gonna have highs and lows. There are gonna be some months that are really low, some months that are really high, in terms of views, in terms of how you feel, in terms of the kind of content you're gonna feel like putting out, in terms of AdSense, in terms of brands approaching you. Oh gosh, something just came to my mind and it completely just left. Sometimes there will come a point where you need outside help, whether that's getting a manager or an assistant or an editor. It really just depends on your needs. I still edit my own videos, of course. I do not have an assistant. But it does help having someone who knows these brands or has a connection with these brands, who can help get you on PR lists, things that you would not be able to do yourself. Brands do not put out their PR email addresses for you to be like, hey, my name is Yuki. You know, I've got so and so many subscribers. Love your stuff. Love your vision. I would love. No, they don't. Like, and the most you could probably do is try to DM, but even then, it's like a long shot. So I do feel like at some point, and that point is different for everybody, at some point you will need help. You're not always going to feel creative. You're not always going to be creative. That's hard to hear, but it's so true. There are just gonna be some times where you're just like, oh, I don't to do. And really there's no cure for that other than go do other stuff, because burnout, I feel like it can be too much, and that threshold is different for everybody. Sometimes you just got to step away from your studio or your filming room or wherever, your kitchen, wherever it is that you record. Step away, do other things, occupy your mind with things that bring you joy, and you'll all of a sudden find that, oh my gosh, I am inspired to do something. That's basically what it comes down to. You cannot force creativity out of you. And that was an issue I dealt with. I sometimes still deal with. So just letting you know, if you are a creative, you're not always going to be creative. You're not going to be able to please everybody. Oh, I have stories for days about this topic. One, it's exhausting. Two, no matter how nice you are, no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how stylish you are, no matter how unique you are, no matter how quirky or goofy or professional, quote unquote, you are, someone is always going to have a problem with you, whether it's a brand or the owner of a brand or a viewer. Somebody will always have an issue with something. Sometimes they'll have an issue with your opinion or something you said or the way you use the product. You can't please everyone. Just do you and be as transparent and as honest with yourself as much as possible. Another thing I will say, it is okay to take breaks. To this day, I feel like I should always be putting out content, but that's not healthy. And I think the current state of this space allows us or pushes us to feel as if we need to always be creating content, which is not healthy at all. Do not feel guilty about taking breaks. And I get it. It's difficult to want to do that simply because, you know, this platform, it rewards frequency and uploads, frequency and interaction. But just as they say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So that's that on that. Do not be surprised at people trying to mock you. Ooh, I have a story or two about this. I personally did not want anybody to know I was starting a YouTube channel when I first started, because I'm one of those people where I don't expect support. I know that sounds horrible, but there come certain things where, like, I would rather not risk being open to negative thoughts and opinions of others. I would rather just stay focused on that one thing and, you know, just grind it out until it's big enough to where I can be like, oh, by the way, like, I'm doing this. People did find out. Some laughed at me straight up in my face. And there was somebody that is very close to me who laughed, like straight up just laughed, and it really hurt me. Hey, what can you do? It's funny because now, like, people will be like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. Oh, and that's another thing. When people say they're so proud of you, I'm like, proud of what? Like, I know it sounds horrible. I'm like, what are you proud of? Because, I mean, I don't see myself as being successful yet. Someone's gonna be so upset. You are clicking at your keyboard right now. You like, I cannot believe, yeah, how can you say that you're not successful? What about those of us? Okay, I get it. I understand, but I don't feel, let me not say successful. I am successful in Jesus' name, but I'm not where I would like to be yet. There are goals that I have, life goals, business goals, career goals. I just feel like I'm not there yet. So it kind of like, I kind of like do a little like double take when people say I'm proud of you. I'm like, thanks. Like, I don't really know how to respond. I'm like, what are you proud of? What have I done? Like, I've not done anything. Maybe that's just me, or eldest child syndrome. I don't know. You don't have to get everything all at once. Start slowly. Build up your kit, build up your equipment slowly. You do not have to purchase everything all at once. I was blessed enough to have a stable career that helped me like propel this to where I wanted it to be. I know that there are a lot of people out there who are, you know, financially just not where they want to be, so they can't afford the things that they want to up their quality or up their the variety of stuff that they use. So start with where you're at and just build on that. You don't have to live in LA. Oh my God. You don't have to live in LA to be a YouTuber. Yes, there is this huge misconception that you have to live in LA to be successful on this thing. I'm like, why? You don't have to be. Why? I think the main reason people feel that way is because so many content creators live in LA. And yes, that is where a lot of brands are and companies, and that is where most people get, I guess, business opportunities. I can understand why people might feel that way, but yo, if you don't want to live in LA, you ain't gotta live in LA to do this thing. Like, you don't. I'm from California, from the Bay to be exact, and I visited LA a few times, and I just don't feel like it's for me, so I didn't go. Moved to Houston, in fact. Like, I'm the antithesis, whatever. I'm that of content creation, because you would think most people would want to move to California, but I go ahead and move out of California. I'm sorry, but those rent prices are stupid. They're stupid. You do not have to do this alone. I still struggle to this day asking for help from other content creators, because I just feel like I don't like to bother people, and I also don't like to feel like someone who doesn't want to do their own legwork, because trust me, there are a lot of people who do not want to do their own research. They just don't want to do the work. They want you to give them all the answers. When it comes to this thing, I am a firm believer in doing your own research as much as possible. And whatever you cannot figure out, then yes, ask someone who you feel is qualified to help you. So asking really simple questions that Google can answer is a waste of time. I'm sorry. It's a waste of time. Bruh, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Bruh. When you're doing your own research, yes, you can use YouTubers as a reference, but videographers, photographers, those are the true masters of this. If you want to get good at putting out good quality, good content, those are your resources right there. All you have to do is use YouTube. YouTube is actually a great resource for YouTube. You can look up stuff about your camera, your computer, editing. Like, there's so much. Oh, and also, which leads me to this. Treat content creators as human beings, not as commodities. It's really weird, like, pretending to try to get to know someone on a personal level, and then straight off the bat, you're like, how do I do this, and that? And the first question that comes out of your mouth is a content related question, or like, I thought you were trying to just like be cool. I thought we were friends. I'm not saying that asking questions is a bad thing, but don't pretend like you're trying to like be buddy with somebody, and then the first thing you do is ask them a question relating to YouTube. Like, what are you doing? It comes off really disingenuous. I really hope that is the word, because if it's not, I will be very upset that I don't sound as smart as I thought I sounded. Yeah, treat content creators like human beings and not commodities. Treat content creators like human beings and not robots. Hey, I would also say don't expect too much from other content creators as a content creator. I wish that was something I knew from the very beginning, because people are always like, oh my gosh, there are very few genuine YouTubers left anymore. Want. But it's like, I feel like, to be honest, everybody is guarded. A lot of people are guarded. And it's because of what I just mentioned, being treated as a commodity or like just a tool rather than actually trying to get to know you as a human being, or just trying to use you for the bit of information that you have. I think I pretty much covered the major stuff. I mean, there are a whole ton of things, but this is all like a learning process for everybody. I'm sure even the people who have 10, 20, 30 million subscribers are also learning as they go. So just enjoy the ride, enjoy the journey, you know? That sounded so corny. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you are a content creator and you have a few things that you want to mention as well, things that you feel other people could benefit from, or things you wish you knew prior to starting this journey, be sure to let us know down below in the comment section as well. Thank you guys for hanging out with me once again, and I hope to see you in the next video, Lord willing. Stay blessed. Bye.